My daughter had eczema as an infant, so I know firsthand how upsetting it is as a mama. Seeing your little one rubbing their skin raw and crying from the pain. Thankfully, we've been able to get on top of it now, and I've learnt a lot along the way. In this episode of Nourish, I'm going to share a few common questions I receive about nutrition and eczema in infants. Stay tuned. Hello, if this is our first time connecting, welcome. My name is Melanie and I'm a dietitian who specialises in nutrition throughout the first 1,000 days of life, from conception through to toddlerhood, where it sets the foundations for the future health of your baby. If you'd like to book a personalised consultation with myself or one of my fantastic team members, I'll pop the details in the description box below this video. But let's get into the topic of nutrition and eczema in infants. Firstly, how does diet impact eczema? Well, I'm sure you know by now that eczema can be triggered by a wide range of factors, including pollen, dust mites, stress, and some foods. It's believed that eczema is exacerbated by food in around 1 in 3 children, but only around 1 in 10 cases is food the main cause. It can be difficult to diagnose if food impacts your child's eczema, and even harder to determine which foods are the culprits, as eczema is often impacted by more than one trigger. Current testing methods only provide an indication and not a clear diagnosis, and there can be a delay between consuming a food and its reaction. Although some people may experience an immediate reaction, others may experience a delayed reaction of up to 48 hours. Question number 2, how can I determine if diet is impacting my child's eczema? Well, there are 5 main ways to determine if your child's diet is influencing his or her eczema. Number 1 is observation. You can keep a food diary and note any changes to your child's eczema. This can then be shown to a dietitian for interpretation. Number 2 is a skin prick test. Now, these are usually conducted in allergy clinics. They're conducted by pricking the skin, usually on the forearm, with a range of substances. Unfortunately, they tend to produce a lot of false positives, as the skin is a lot more sensitive than the gastrointestinal system, especially in young children. Number 3 is a blood test, such as an IgE antibody test or a RAST test. These blood tests can measure the levels of antibodies in the bloodstream after exposure to particular foods. Again, this does not provide guaranteed answers, but only an indication. It can also be time-consuming, as the test needs to be replicated a number of times with a range of different foods. Number 4 is an oral food challenge. Now, this is when a food containing an allergen is given for the purpose of diagnosing an allergic reaction. When a challenge is undertaken, your child should be monitored for symptoms for 48 hours. Challenges should always be repeated more than once to confirm the diagnosis though. And number 5 is elimination diets. This is a type of diet which removes a wide range of foods, then reintroduces them as challenges to see which food allergens or chemicals trigger a reaction. If no reaction appears, foods containing these allergens or chemicals can be reintroduced into the diet. So question number 3, can what mum eats impact her baby? Well, if you're breastfeeding, allergens and food chemicals can be passed onto your baby through your breast milk. If your baby has eczema, it can be worth trialling some oral food challenges or an elimination diet yourself, whilst looking for changes in your baby's eczema. Furthermore, research suggests that what a mum eats during pregnancy can impact the risk of your baby developing eczema. Mediterranean dietary patterns, high intakes of fresh fruit and veggies, fish and vitamin D containing foods consumed during pregnancy appear to be particularly protective against eczema, whereas a high intake of vegetable oils and fast foods are associated with a higher risk of eczema. Question number 4, should I use a hypoallergenic diet? The term hypoallergenic diet is often used interchangeably with the elimination diet. Some people undertake strict elimination diets long-term in an effort to improve eczema. However, it's recommended that where possible, these diets are only used short-term as a diagnostic tool instead of long-term as a treatment. Staying on such strict diets long-term can reduce in additional complications. For example, an Australian study looked at children who'd been put on long-term salicylate-free elimination diets and found that 46% of these kids were placed on this diet to help reduce eczema. However, nearly half of the children put on this strict diet developed severe side effects, such as nutritional deficiencies, growth stunting, food aversions, and even eating disorders. And another American study found that more than 25% of kids placed on long-term elimination diets developed nutritional deficiencies. Consequently, the European Task Force for Eczema recommends that strict elimination or hypoallergenic diets should only be considered when a food allergy is highly likely as a result of blood tests, skin prick testing, or oral food challenges first, due to the risks of nutritional deficiencies, as research has not yet found any strong links between salicylates or other food chemicals and eczema. Now, if you think that your child is affected by food chemicals and you'd like to try an elimination diet, it's recommended that you seek further advice from a specialist dietitian or allergist. Now, nutrition and eczema in infants is such a big topic, and I could speak to you about this for literally hours, but I know that you've got a little one to get to. So, if you'd like more information, please contact my team for a personalised consultation. We see clients worldwide undertaking virtual consultations these days. And before I go, may I please ask a little favour? Could you please share this video in your mum's group? I guarantee that there will be other mamas who would really appreciate this free information too. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you do so that you don't miss out on any of my videos on postpartum care. Now have a great day, and I'll look forward to seeing you in my next video. Then we have our little video. Number 3 is a blood test. Sorry, I just lost the wording there, so if we can zoom back down. Thank you.